7 must-knows for semaglutide compound, tirzepatide compound, or basically a compounded Mounjaro, a compound of WEGOVY, or a compound of Ozempic. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost 67 pounds through Mounjaro, full prescription, not a compounded version of Mounjaro, and I've got 7 must-have tips for you. This video has been one of my most requested, and I have, if you've noticed in my whole Mounjaro playlist, WEGOVY playlist, that I have not done one of these on compounds or must-knows about compound pharmacies, just because I've been waiting, watching, and I always want to speak from my own experience, strength, and hope, because I'm not a doctor. I'm simply somebody who has lived this for the past 40 plus weeks and have had 67-pound weight loss. So let's dive in. Mr. Freddy is excited to hear all of my 7 must-knows. Of course, I do have a Mounjaro weight loss success checklist, which is also for WEGOVY and Ozempic, which is WEGOVY, for semaglutide or tirzepatide weight loss down in the description link below. Number 1, what is a tirzepatide compound, semaglutide compound? Basically, the ball of wax of this, and again, I am not a medical professional. This is my interpretation as if I'm talking to a girlfriend or guy friend over a cup of coffee, so talk to your own medical doctor or medical professional, is you can get compounds, which are like Mounjaro, mixed with vitamin B12 to make a reduced price and a couple of other reasons for that. A compound of where it's having similar effects of Mounjaro. It's not Mounjaro because it's mixed together with vitamin B12 and it's mixed through a compound pharmacy where they give you a syringe to inject it. It's not like the Mounjaro pen, the WEGOVY pen, or the Ozempic pen. And what happens of why these compounds for tirzepatides, which is Mounjaro, or semaglutides, which is WEGOVY, Ozempic, why these compound pharmacies for weight loss, we're talking weight loss specifically today, not really talking about the type 2 diabetes part of this, but the weight loss component of it, why they're around is because they're on the FDA shortage list. I have linked down below and just did an update on countessofshopping.com, which is, by the way, go check that out. I have pretty much daily updates on things relating to Mounjaro, WEGOVY, Ozempic, semaglutides, tirzepatides. My most recent FDA update, which I'll link down below to reference, is the ones that are on the FDA shortage list right now. Is Mounjaro is on the FDA shortage list because of the 10 milligrams. It's saying it's back ordered from September 2023. We're now in October of 2023, just to give some context. WEGOVY is on the shortage list, as is Ozempic, specifically for, and I'm looking for, I have the specific dosage down in the description link below for that updated blog post. But basically, when these drugs, which by the way is crazy, like just take a moment to pause, having a multi-billion-dollar drugs on these FDA shortage lists because they cannot keep up with the demand, and that is including that Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro, is building 2, not 1, but 2 North Carolina factories to double their production on Mounjaro because it's such a massive slaying success. Because they're on the FDA shortage list, which is very rare. Like, that's very rare for it to be on the FDA shortage list this long. For compounds, meaning that mixture I was talking about, Mounjaro mixed with vitamin B12, or WEGOVY or Ozempic mixed with that vitamin B12, those things, Mounjaro, Ozempic, or WEGOVY, whatever specific one that you're getting the compound for, the mixture for, again, I'm not a scientist, this is my interpretation of that. If it is off the FDA shortage list, a reputable compound pharmacy should not sell you those drugs, like those compounds. Once those drugs, so Mounjaro right now is on the FDA shortage list, once it gets off the FDA shortage list, that compound, that tirzepatide compound, should not be on the FDA shortage list anymore. Same thing for semaglutide, which is WEGOVY and Ozempic, should not be on the FDA shortage list when they're off of the FDA shortage list. If you have a compound pharmacy that is selling you the tirzepatide, Mounjaro, semaglutide, WEGOVY, and then is off the FDA shortage list, that is not reputable. Do not buy from them. That is not a reputable compound pharmacy. That means they are just making a quick buck. And then I would question all their processes. Now, today's video is on the 7 things you must know. So that's number 1, is what is it? And number 2 is, with that, is who should you be buying from? One of the things is a reputable compound pharmacy. How do you find that? 1, is it on the FDA shortage list actively? And are they selling it when it's not? Like, that is a major red flag. Also, how do you find one of these compound pharmacies? Because we know, and I just did another blog post, which I'll link down below, of how much the cost for not having insurance cover and not having a coupon with Ozempic in my area in rural Virginia for 1 month supply. So 4 pens of those for Mounjaro is $1,057 for 1 month. That's from CVS. Another $1,057 from Target. Walgreens is $1,064 for 4 weeks, 1 month worth of Mounjaro. 1 month. So you can see why it's advantageous, because it's not cost. Like, most people cannot afford that by any means. And these compound prices, so this is the next one on your must knows, is the compound prices are generally in the ballpark, from what I've heard, anywhere from like $175 to like $400-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. Now, there was recently a lawsuit, and I said it in the last video erroneously, and so I apologize for this, about the lawsuit that happened with Mounjaro. The manufacturer, Eli Lilly, is suing a couple of the weight loss clinics because they were toting that Mounjaro, they were using the trademark incorrectly. I misspoke in that previous video of where I was saying, I forget what I even said on it, but it's in regards to the trademark. It's not in regards to the compound pharmacies, these non-reputable ones. And I think that's one of my biggest concerns of why I personally didn't go the compound route, and why I'm taking Mounjaro, like the full, like not mixed compound for the tirzepatide weight loss, is because I don't know, you don't know what's mixed with. And so that's why finding and trusting it's a reputable pharmacy. I mean, the accountant and I went around and around and around about that, about the cost benefit analysis of, I've seen so many people in our Mounjaro and WEGOVY success encouragement group, which, by the way, totally free. It's linked down in the description link below. Thousands of people are in it, who've had such massive success with using a compound. Comment down in the description, comment down below. I want to know if you're using a compound, tell me. I want to hear your successes. And I've seen this go both ways in the Mounjaro and WEGOVY weight loss success encouragement group. People who are also on compounds, all are welcome at the table, except for spammers. They're not welcome. But it's a safe space to have encouragement that I've created with, we're over 4,000 strong now. So that's down in the description link below. But, having so many people have had success, and then there's some people who've had not success. And so that's where I want you to do your due diligence. If you're thinking about getting a tirzepatide compound, or like a WEGOVY compound, an Ozempic compound, or a Mounjaro compound, a tirzepatide compound, or semaglutide. Semaglutide is WEGOVY or Ozempic. If you're thinking about getting one of those, to do your due diligence. Do you have a friend who's taking it? Do you have someone who recommends? In my encouragement group, it blows my mind the number of scammers of compound pharmacies. They do come in our group and they're immediately removed. Like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Like, they're immediately kicked out. I don't tolerate that. But even on my Countess of Shopping Facebook page, which is still called Countess of Low Carb, but it's really Countess of Shopping, spammers will come out and like, hey, buy this for da da da. Do not buy off of a Facebook post from someone you don't know or having done your due diligence. Or even within my group, there's the people, because they immediately get kicked out, of people trying to sell within those things. Like, hey, can you sell it to you? Please don't do that. That is not reputable. I was here in Virginia, my doctor, because we had been talking about it, she's like, I actually have a good compound pharmacy I could recommend you here in the Virginia area. And I was like, okay, give me their information. And I knew that my doctor had vetted that. Now, that was when I was with my primary care physician. I do have an amazing telehealth company. I will be launching it. I should be launching it next week. I'm doing a huge contest associated with it. So stay tuned. Bear with me. We're still just kind of going through some final things of my final recommendations with them, but I digress. My doctor at the time had recommended this compound pharmacy. And so I took that with such gold, like the weight of gold, because I knew that my doctor had done her due diligence. Somebody who's popping up in a Facebook group or whatever, like, that's a red flag. That's a major red flag. Or off of one of my videos where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know you. I haven't said it in a video. There's no tagging. There's no relationship. If you see something in one of my videos, I'll tag it. I'll put it in, like, I'll tell you I'm recommending it, right? Or if you have somebody else you trust within the internet that you know is giving good information, which, by the way, if you haven't clicked subscribe, make sure you do, so that way you can get good information here. Because I do my homework. I mean, this whole notebook is filled with Mounjaro, WEGOVY stuff. Like, that is like what I love doing, is sharing and encouraging our Countess of Shopping community on this. So making sure it's reputable, ideally getting that from a recommendation from a friend. You can also see and you can hear who some of the not so good folks are. and doing that too of like, hey, have you heard about X, Y, and Z company before you make a purchase? Because they do have to be shipped. One of the things, and I have a whole blog post on about the refrigeration associated with Mounjaro, which is very applicable, by the way, for Ozempic and Wegovy. Different animal, but same. It's like the cat family, like a jaguar versus a lion. They're very similar. They're different, but very similar. So you can check out that blog post down below. But in it, the Mounjaro, it needs to be refrigerated. It can stay not refrigerated for 21 days. However, it needs to go no higher than 86 degrees. My question was for these compound pharmacies that were shipping this summer to hot places like Arizona or Nevada or Florida, or even in Virginia, we got to 100 plus degrees, keeping it at that room temperature, but also not freezing it as it's shipping. Mounjaro, for example, it cannot freeze. If Mounjaro, the full-fledged Mounjaro, freezes, you got to throw the pen away. My question to the compound pharmacies is, because it's mixed with Mounjaro, how do you regulate that temperature while it's shipping to you? A great question to ask the compound pharmacy. They're putting an ice pack in there. How do they know that that pen doesn't, or it's not a pen, but it's the syringe or the mixture to make the syringe? How do they know that that's not freezing? And also, how do they know that it's not going above that 86 degrees, right? Like those things, if you've used a compound pharmacy and you're like, it didn't work when I did it, if that's been your experience, there's our foster, which, by the way, Sunshine, she's probably going to get adopted out. Oh, and my son just came home too. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. So not being too high at the temperature. Now, my family they're going nuts. I don't want to stop the video because we're almost done. I'm going to just say, make sure you get my WEGOVY or Mounjaro starter kit. I have listed down below from Amazon all the things that I recommend, including I have a loose skin cream. Nothing gets rid of loose skin, but it does help me psychologically with that. I will link that down below. And my new walking shoes, I am obsessed with these. I just ordered them and got them. I love them. They're slip-ons though. They're super, super comfortable. Like, they're cushioned shoes. They're super comfortable. I'm like, you know, you've hit your 40s when you're excited about cushioned shoes. The temperature thing is the other big component of this, and then the cost, right? Like, having these compounds with the cost, like, it's unreasonable for people to think that they could get that price point of that $1,000 just for Mounjaro. Now, Ozempic it's very close, $906 for my research of where I live, and of course it's different where you live, maybe more or a little bit less, or $967 from CVS for Ozempic for 1 month. That is crazy, by the way. Like, that's why these compound pharmacies have popped up, but you got to do your due diligence. You got to see if they're selling after it gets off the FDA shortage list. Once it gets off the FDA shortage list, you're probably not going to be able to take that compound and have other solutions. But here's the good news. We know, I have said this in previous videos, and I'm guessing, I believe Mounjaro will get FDA approved for weight loss in October 2023. That is my guess, because Eli Lilly, the manufacturer, has hired out a sales team for that. That is my opinion. That is not based on fact. That is the Countess of Shopping's opinion. So I like to give you like facts and scientific data. This was just my personal opinion on that. And so with that, that is going to change insurance companies, but that's going to take some time. I know a lot of your insurance companies, once Mounjaro does get FDA approved for weight loss, which is coming in the next few weeks, which is always crazy to me that people come out of the woodwork to slam me, oh, Mounjaro for weight loss, when it's literally getting approved here in the next few weeks. It's just a matter of, it's very soon. If it's not in October, then very soon, by the end of the year. Eli Lilly, the manufacturer, has stated. I think it will be in October, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. The cost, and then the shortage, and then also the mixing component with that B12 of what you don't know what it's getting mixed with. So you need to ask the compound pharmacy, how are they independently tested? Find out. Like, they need to be third party or not, like independently tested. How are they getting in? What is the operational procedure on that? They need to have an answer. Like, they really need to have an answer for that. One of our viewers was like, I asked the compound pharmacy and they laughed at me. And then another person said, I asked the compound pharmacy and they're like, oh, I'll get back to you. And they never did. Like, that would be a very good indication. That'd be a very good indication. Also, where they're shipping from, of how it's getting transmitted to you. Can you pick it up? Here in Virginia, because there was one that was about an hour away from my house, I would have driven to go pick up the compound. I would not have had it shipped because of that storage component, which again, I'll link the blog post down below if you want more information on that. No more than 86 degrees, can't be frozen, can't be out of room temperature for more than 21 days. Like, there's a lot of stipulations on that. So how is it getting shipped? To make the compound for you. So, or with a syringe or things like that, the vial for it. So, Let me know down below if you have more questions off of that. This very well could be a part 1 of a multiple part series. Ask your questions, put down below if you've had a compound or if you're thinking about taking a compound. I know we are all just at the very genesis of this GLP-1. I mean, GLP-1s have been around since 2005. So they've been around for 2005, 2015. Y'all, I need a cup of coffee. It ends in a 5. Normally I always have my scientific facts today. That one, 2005, 2015. I know you guys will correct me in the comments with that too. Make sure you get your Mounjaro weight loss success checklist. Is also applicable for WEGOVY weight loss, Ozempic, Semaglutide weight loss, and Tirzepatide weight loss. And be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Make sure you join my success encouragement group too if you are on WEGOVY, Tirzepatide, Semaglutide, Mounjaro, all of them. All are welcome at that table, and it's totally free. It's an awesome group. And next week, I will be rolling out the Prime Day deals. Prime Day is going to be coming up. I will have a whole devoted episode for weight loss tools that are massively going to be on sale with Amazon. So make sure you stay tuned for that episode too. Have a great day, my friends, and make sure you get all those checklists. See you soon. Bye, guys.